Use your wire, you can burn.
Nice leg you got here.
Okay. Hey. We got John Noffsinger turning a top, plain top, that may get pyrography decoration on instead of the color and chatter.
Yeah, it will.
Right.
I'm getting old and I need my other glasses. We got a finer spindle gouge, like a detail gouge. A real sharp one.
Over there in the windowsill is a long bevel.
Thanks, Beth. We got a little piece of wire. Itty bitty piece, yeah, itty bitty piece of burn wire. And I use sandpaper, it looks like. quality glasses, but I think we can do it. Sure, let's be fancy. I'll just hold it like this, put the pencil down on it, turn it around, and you know, it comes out, it looks like it was done by hand because it's not all perfect, and it gives it that handmade look. If you put it on like a laser thing, they look great, but it really does give it a nice handmade effect when you just do stuff like this. And then in a lot of the cases, like when you're working on a piece like this, a circular piece, a great way to start out is just by doing triangles, because they fit perfect in a circle. And you know, you put these triangles next to each other and they'll just make their own design, and it's easy to get creative from there and do more to it or less to it, whatever you want to do. That's pretty much how I set up most of my borders, you know, and I'll just draw within those lines, and say if I'm doing like a Celtic knot or something like that, I'll just square it off and I'll give myself like 4 sections like that, and then usually they'll be a little bit smaller than that. So I cut that down into 8. And each one of those little blocks will be like a section of the knot or a section of the design. And it comes out, it looks good. And then you just throw your coat of wax on it just like Pat did. And they come out, they look great. You can add the dyes in it too, because once you use pyrography, you can paint that different colors in there or whatever, however you want. And the pyrography holds it within the lines. It looks good. And that's
Thank
it.
you, John.
Right there. Thank you.
Oh, did we?
I'm going to do backwards forward design here a little bit. But I'm just going to follow where I got it squared off. And we'll see how it comes out. It might come out looking good, it might not. We'll see though. Yeah, it don't hurt to have your right glasses on when you're doing it.
All right, take care, guys. See you Saturday.
See you later, Pat.
All right, see you Saturday.
Later. You're up first.
Okay, I'm ready.
And this thing actually, you can use it for a lot of functional stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever waxed a piece that has like little bark spots on it and stuff like that, and then you get these white spots that end up in the details of the wood itself, and it's the wax that's not really buffed into it. You can go over it with real light heat in this and melt it right in there, cleans it right up, makes it look a lot better. So this thing, it's got a lot more uses than one when you get one of these kits here like this. And you just kind of get creative. This is a design I have not done before. And what I do with these things, especially on the top, I'll take the top part of it here and I'll just burn little ridges in it so you can get a good grip on it when you want to spin it. Alright, get out of here. Here. If you hold it down there, it'll burn like a real dark spot. You pull it out and it gets real thin. It's kind of neat. You can make for some pretty nice effects like that. Now, let me see something. Actually, I'll go a little bit further with this. And switch the tip. I got that tip and this tip that I'm going to switch to. Pretty much a tip that I use consistently. I've got a ton of tips, and half of them is just not worth buying. But there's a few of them that I use all the time, and they're worth their weight in gold. And those are actually, when I do this class, those are the ones I'm going to include. But I pretty much know about all the different tips.
It doesn't look that hard at all.
What kind of tip is that? Writing tip?
Yeah, this one's actually got a ball burnisher on it. But the writing tip, it's pretty much the exact same thing. I prefer the writing tip for burnishing. And you hit it with some color. Might look better than it does now. I hope it does. But it's not too bad, just the way it is. Really. It's kind of neat to play around with. And that's all I do is I draw those circles, and you can sit there and sketch around with a piece of paper, draw a circle.
So did you put some kind of color and rub it in, or what? It rubs into the grooves, or
when you do the burning, you can take it, say, like I'll use this piece right here on the lathe and show you. When I use the color, I use it just like watercolor. I mix up aniline dye in water. I use water-based aniline dye, and I take and I'll do, say, like with triangles, something like that. And
you color in between.
And you color in between.
Oh, that keeps it from running over.
It holds that color right there, and you can do things like different, kind of like a modern art almost style, or you can burnish. You can do things that look like a Michelangelo, and add color to it. Because once you go over that grain, it flattens out the grain. Even if you're just burnishing in it and you can't see it, and the color, it doesn't want to flow through the grain.
Grain's gone.
It crushes the grain, so it doesn't flow through it like a channel.
It has to be pretty smooth. You sand it before you start this? It's pretty smooth when you start that, isn't it?
What's that?
The surface.
Yeah, when you start your pyrography, you want it to be just where it would be right before you put the finish on.
Okay.
Just sand it all the way down to where you say, I'm ready to put the finish on. Well, that's where you start your pyrography. And if you're going to be like on top of a platter with your hands and stuff like that, you want to put a sheet of paper, a paper towel, so you don't get the oil from your skin.
Or that,
in there.
what is that, parchment paper, something like that, or something? Would that work? Would that wax paper, would that work? Or?
Don't use wax.
Not wax paper, not wax paper, but you know what I'm talking
Just
about.
paper towel. I mean, like a bounty towel.
Okay.
Fine. Just like that, a piece of paper. Yeah, anything like that. That's only if you're going to be over
Right.
and over and over, like I do. I kind of get obsessed.
Well, carried away.
Yeah. Otherwise, you don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
But that's it, guys.
Very good.
Great.